We're here on another episode of Reasonably Hyped. I'm Carlos Macias. I'm your host of this here fine program. And as per usual, we got Deo Blas from up in the Bay. If I mispronounce your name, man, my bad. I'm sorry.
No,
about
you got
that.
it.
You can
You're
correct
good.
me.
You're good.
I will say, just to start off, man, my condolences for the San Francisco Giants, man. It was a tough game yesterday.
Rough.
It's rough, but that's what it is. If people don't know, I'm down in LA area. You're up in the Bay Area, right? So,
Yeah.
and a little friendly rivalry, but that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, we got the baseball rivalry. We also, most importantly, the basketball rivalry.
That's
so,
way more important to me personally. So
Yeah.
the Warriors are looking okay. Lakers. We'll see if they figure that out. But anyways, we're here to talk about video games, right? What the big thing the last couple games was Nintendo finally went up and did it. Dale, I don't know if you heard, but they finally figured out how to double the price of the online system, online Nintendo Switch Online that they call it. And they said, we did get a preview a couple weeks ago whenever they did their Nintendo Direct, right? They were saying, we're dropping N64. We're doing Genesis. And
We're doing Genesis, too.
People were kind of hyped for it a little bit. I honestly, for me personally, I'm kind of over it. But I can understand how people are hyped for it, right? And they finally figured it out, man. So these things they finally gave us a pricing. At that time, they just got us hyped, right? For you're going to get more games with an added cost. So it used to be about $20 a year and then $35 for the family plan, I believe. And they said, if you want this expansion pack, it's actually $50 a year. If you want the family membership, it's $80 a year. And they kind of did add the Animal Crossing expansion pack into it, so they're kind of trying to sweetening the pot. But at the same time, it's kind of ridiculous, man. It's already pricey. I do like, just to shout out Wario64 out there. I do like the joke that he made online. He was saying, he's like, if you want the cheaper subscription, make a family or get a family or something like that.
I didn't hear that.
But what do you think, man? What do you think about this? They up and did it, huh? They got the pricing up.
Yeah, I could see why. Diehard Nintendo fans, they don't care that they've already spent so much time with Nintendo. They love it to death, so they're gonna be continually shelling out that cash money for that service because they love Nintendo so much. For a lot of the majority of players, though, this is a total ripoff. I think these are for old games. And they're charging, so much more amounts of money. And not only that, they tried to make it seem like, it's a good value for you because we're throwing in Genesis games.
Look at all this, and the expansion pack,
and the expansion pack. But not everyone plays Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
It's if you don't play Animal Crossing, then it's that value proposition isn't worth it to you.
Yeah, the thing is it goes from okay, Nintendo, you guys are being cute. $20 a year, I can do that.
Yeah.
I could do that to play. And you did add some online functionality, right? I play some of these games online as well, but it's cute. Then you're like, let's charge Xbox and PlayStation Plus prices. Then it's not so cute. Then it's hold on.
It's not the same kind of service. You don't get cloud saves. You don't get voice and chat for over all your games. You don't get free monthly games like you do with a PlayStation service or the Xbox Live service. It's not a very good value in my eyes. It might be to some diehard Nintendo people's eyes, but definitely not for me.
Yeah, it's kind of tough. The thing is, these games, when are they dropping the GameCube and Wii games? That's my question, man. That's
another thing.
That's kind of where, to me, I'm kind of like, okay, so we got Wii games, we got GameCube games. Okay, maybe at that point, possibly, right?
Right.
But N64, Genesis. You see the Genesis over here in the background right there. So it's kind of like one of those things. We already bought this Nintendo, and you're trying to get us to pay for a year for these games we already have.
If you have a Wii U, a majority of those games are $5 each, and which you get to own. That's part of your account. If you're part of this Nintendo Online service, you only kind of rent out the game, right? Is that true?
Yeah.
So
as long as your membership is active, right?
As long as your membership's active, right. But then over time, you're spending inherently a lot more than you would have if you were to just outright buy them. So
and they already kind of perfected this. If you have a Wii, I'm pretty sure you bought a bunch of these games already, right? It's kind of one of those things where it's you already gave it to. And look, that whole thing, I still feel like you're kind of renting it when you buy things digitally. That's why I always go physical, try to buy as much as I can, because honestly, it is a license to be able to play it, right? It's not necessarily like you'll have it forever. If they really want to, they can kind of revoke that license from you or whatever. But yes, that's a little more closer to actual ownership versus like an online pass like this, which is fine, but it's not Game Pass. It's not PlayStation Plus. It's not even probably like PlayStation Now, and now is like the kind of redheaded stepchild of the whole thing. Now it's Nintendo. Now it's the expansion pack situation. So I don't know what they're thinking. I'm sure people are gonna be like ready to go, revving to go, especially with the expansion pack. They kind of, and apparently it's kind of meaty. It's a little meaty, the Animal Crossing expansion that they're doing, but it definitely is like one of those things where it's like, how do we double this price? Oh yeah, let's give them a couple more games. Let's give them a Legend of Zelda again, or Majora's Mask, or whatever.
Sprinkle that in with some old school nostalgia right there. Nostalgia is strong, like can't escape that. I understand that, but I don't know. It's so an exorbitant price for stuff you could like literally you could download an emulator on your phone and play it.
Yeah.
Like wherever you really want to.
Yeah, I mean, and this kind of is a case against emulation, right? Like sometimes the case is being made out there that it's like, well, I can't get these things readily available, and it's like, well, it's pricey, but it is available this way, right? But I guess it does give another excuse for those guys that are emulating out there or just torrenting things or whatever they're doing. They're like, you know what? I don't want to pay $50 for it. I'm just gonna download it, right? So
yeah. And then on top of that, like, did you see the price for the controllers too? Like, it's like for the N64 controllers, like $50.
Yeah. But check it out though, that N64 controller, you don't need a Rumble pack. It comes in it. It comes inside. Yeah, look, it's some BS, man. Of course why would the Rumble be separate, right? Like, why would it be separate? Of course it comes with the controller.
Better,
right? Of course it comes with the controller. I do like how with the Genesis controller, so the N64 controller is still $50. It's crazy, right? But the Genesis one, I think I'm a little more offended at because it's $50 for a Genesis controller, and also they don't even give you the 6-button version of it, right? It's the 3-button because that's what people associate the Genesis with. Is like, really, this is what you guys are doing?
Do you think they're gonna sell it in the future? Because I don't know. Like, they should have an option for that because that was the better controller.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've tried. I think I've mentioned it on Salient Points before too. But if you ever try to just try. So I implore you guys to try playing Street Fighter 2 with the 3-button Genesis controller. You gotta switch. You gotta switch the buttons. Like, I think if you press start or select, you're switching from high kicks to low kicks, and you constantly have to switch that way.
It's impossible.
So it's ridiculous, man. But yeah, these guys definitely could have given us the 6-button version at least. But well, how about this? We'll end it on this one. Given that this is the new expansion pack, and I think it drops sometime this month. I think it's coming out in a couple weeks, the 25th, I believe. Given what we know about it, are you gonna grab this expansion pack for the Nintendo Switch Online?
No. Definitely not. That's a big no. That sucks because I think how many times have we said no about Nintendo products on this?
I feel like we love Nintendo. I've been playing Samus Returns, and I'm ready to, and I just picked up Dread, so I'm ready.
Right, yeah, I got Dread. Yeah, I picked up Dread.
I see that you got 2 copies of the special edition.
Oh my god, I forgot I ordered one back in the day or back a few months ago, and then I panicked bought this one because I was I don't remember if I got it or not.
All right, very reasonable.
Yeah, I gotta figure that one out.
But I agree with you, man, and I also I'm not doing this. I mean, in a way, it's kind of at least. I hate saying that at least, right? Because it's giving them too much benefit of the doubt, right? But in a way, it's kind of at least they kind of have a tiered pricing, whereas Xbox and PlayStation, you're kind of stuck. You have to kind of pay the full price even if you only use certain things. So in this one, they haven't said they're taking the $20 option off the table, but I can only imagine at some point they might, right? Where they're you know what?
It's Nintendo, man. You not a lot of people could push Nintendo around. Once they set their pricing to it, it takes a lot to try to move their structure, their pricing structures around.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll kind of phase it out, right? I guess that's kind of that'll be the thing. And the other thing, I guess the only other thing maybe you could say is so these things you could play on the Wii, right? Virtual console. But I guess you could make the case that now you could take these games on the go. I guess that's the other case, but I feel like I'm reaching though. I feel like I'm reaching, and because Nintendo, what are you guys doing?
Does that work though? If you're on the go if you don't have like a wireless connection, is there like a verification process on whether or not you have the
It
digital
does, but
rights
I
to
think
that?
it
Does it
does
do
it.
that?
It does it the same as like maybe your iPhone does it, or like
Okay.
the DS or whatever. Where you will have like, or actually, I think maybe like Netflix or something does it. Like you download a
Hmm.
show and
You
it'll be,
download yeah,
and
okay.
they give you a time where it expires. So at some point you do have to check in. But I figure if
Hmm.
you're playing regularly enough, it'll like check in. But you know what? That's a fair point because it's through online, right? I think
Hmm.
you can play other games without being actually online, though. I guess we have to look. I guess we have to let the people
Yeah,
know.
well,
Well,
I want to know the details, man. Can't wait.
well, that's that's another episode of Reasonably Hyped. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carlos Macias again. Please to like, subscribe, all that good stuff on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. And again, Deo Blas, thank you, sir. I'm sorry about the L, man, but you'll get over it soon enough.
Oh,
All
oh,
right, man.
I'll just play Metroid Dread, man.
Yeah,
Thanks, Carlos.
that'll bring your spirits up. That'll bring your spirits up. All right, later.